Finally, the weather has stayed in our favour for the last couple of days, so we're able to come and do our special trip. Surprise, surprise! So finally we are here, the wait is over, we're at Marble Arch Caves and we're really looking forward to this. We're finally getting our boat tour of the caves. We had to wait because of the rainfall that we've had over the last wee while. It's been horrendous here in County Fermanagh, so wet, so miserable, but finally it's got a wee bit drier and the water levels are now lower and at a safe level for us to finally go on our boat tour. If you want to come along with us on our tour, then stay tuned. The prices for the tour are extremely reasonable. 1 minute into this video, if you go back, you can actually see the price list. You can pause on it and take a screenshot. To book this tour, you have to go on to the Marble Arches Caves website. I'll put the link to that in the description below if you're thinking about doing the tour. I also highly recommend that you do go and do it. So you go online and you book the walking tour initially. It does not give you a link to book for the boat tour. This is because of the weather. So you book your walking tour, and on the day that you arrive for your tour, you can upgrade if the boat tours are going ahead that day. So again, as I said previously, it's all weather permitting for the boat tour. There's no guarantee that you'll definitely get on the boat tour even on the day of your walking tour, and that could be due to either two factors, availability or the weather, so bear that in mind. I booked mine for an afternoon appointment, and because I live local, it worked out in my favour. I was able to ring every morning to find out if the boat tour was going to go ahead, and if it wasn't, I was able to keep moving my appointment forward to the next day or a couple of days after. So if you're local, that may be an option. Finally, I'm going to stop talking and let you enjoy the tour. Also, I did not record the entirety of this tour because I do not want to ruin the experience for somebody else that may go on this tour at a later date. Also, finally, a big thank you to our tour guide, Kieran. He's a walking, talking caveman filled with so much knowledge about the history and geography of the caves. He has such a witty sense of humour, with plenty of laughs and giggles along the way, which made this tour and the overall experience so much more enjoyable. So without further ado, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you like the content on my channel, subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free to subscribe. Also, leave a wee comment in the comment section and enjoy the tour, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Or cardiac issues. COPD, asthma. Marvellous. Hopefully at the end of the tour, that will still be the case. So folks, if you want to follow me, we'll make our way. Are you following me? You better be following me. So, ladies and oh hello, I've lost half the tour. Yeah, a little bit slow. Just coming into view is a massive hole in the ground. It's known as a shake hole, and you're going to get a much better look of it in a moment. But what it is, a shake hole is the remnants of a cave where the roof has collapsed. So we think the roof collapsed during the Ice Age, and that was roughly 12.5 to about 13,000 years ago. The entire landscape everywhere, no matter where you were, covered in ice. And that ice could be as deep as a kilometre deep, 1,000 metres, so very thick ice. And there was a change in the climate, it got warmer, so the ice started to melt. And as a result of that, huge quantities of meltwater started coming down. Just have a quick look at this rock. This rock is called Dartry limestone. It's about 340 million years old, and it makes up the cave you're going to be walking into. One of the characteristics of this rock is that when it rains, rainwater everywhere across the earth is very, very slight. So when rainwater comes into contact with this rock, it starts to dissolve it into calcium carbonate. Now, when we go into the cave, the rainwater eventually goes into the earth, and about 40, 50, 60 meters underground, young man, just don't make it hit there.
Hello. Hello.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boy, the other. Oh, the toilets. This might take slightly longer than I anticipated.
I think so.
Clemency. Okay, folks, just keep walking. So, as you're coming into the cave, you need to be aware there's a rock here where I'm shining my torch at head level. There's another one here at head level. And there's another one over here, upper leg level. If you've got bare legs, please don't rub up against it. It will cut you like a knife. So please be careful coming into the cave. Local people in here in Fermanagh that have been aware of these caves for generations, for hundreds of years, but never come into the cave. There was a fear, a superstition of demons and evil spirits living in the caves. That started to change, that perception. In the summer of 1895, the man who owned the cave was the third Earl of Enniskillen, and he was a very keen amateur geologist, but he wasn't very keen. He was a young Irish man based in Dublin called Jameson. He was a biologist and a zoologist, and they come this way, the way you've just come in the summer of 1895.
Yeah, all right.
Perfect.
Yeah, go on ahead. You guys are going to stay in the middle of the seat roughly, yeah? Okay.
It's got us up to maximum speed. Those of you with any hair on your head, you can probably feel the wind in your hair. And as we come up to the archway, turn the engine off. We've got to do this manually because it's a bit tight. So, just, that's it, keep your head, that's brilliant. Do that for about 15 seconds. As you go underneath the archway, there are some rocks coming down from the roof, so don't be tempted to bring your head up. Just keep your head down until we are out of here. It'll take about another 5-7 seconds, and we will be.
There's a rock here, guys.
Yeah. Just be careful, folks. I'll tell you when it's safe. We're nearly out. Keep your head down. And the water beneath the boat is now at its deepest, so it's about 20 feet of water underneath the boat. So to ensure our safety, we've got a really dynamic superhero on the left-hand side, otherwise known as If we get into problems, you'll be able to dive in, do some incredible swimming, and rescue any victim. That's if you can be bothered to do so. So folks, as we continue along, we're going to go underneath. So those of you on the left-hand side, please don't touch it, whatever you do. They are real. If you look up at the top boulder a moment, where it takes us underneath, if you have a look up to the top, where I'm shining our torch, you'll see that the top boulder is on a ledge of less than 2 inches. Just here. So sometime in the future, there's going to be a huge splash. Not today. Not today. So, it's very quiet down here. As we continue along the Cladagh, you'll see the cave gets larger and larger, expands. And directly ahead of you, I'm just going to point out one feature. There's a couple of features down here actually. But this archway, about 40 metres ahead of us, those of you on the left-hand side of the boat, okay, that's going to take us underneath that archway. So those on the left, you're just going to be careful. Make sure you don't bang your head. Now, coming into view in a couple of moments on the opposite side of this, over here, is the Grand Gallery, discovered, explored by Marta and Jameson. The largest cave of this cave, coming to view in a moment. It's 1,500 metres long, 100 feet high, and the width of a football pitch. The only problem is it's full of water, so you're not safe while that hands times. Keep your hands inside the boat. Do not be tempted to place your hands on the concrete jetty floor.
Wow.
It's known as a cascade, and it too has been created by rainwater, but in a slightly different way. Just up here, there's a hole in the roof. So water used to flow, or cascade, this is how it gets its name, to there. And then the rainwater would just drop to the ground. Now calcium ordinarily is white in colour. It's the stuff that makes up the human skeleton, and that's right on the roof, it's just here. This formation here, its name is related to a vegetable. Can you guess the vegetable? Cauliflower? Well, thank goodness you're here. So this is a cave cauliflower. The reason why we're talking So, you're now entering the pool chamber, so-called because it's full of water on my left or my right. Water here is big. This water today, that is about 5 meters deep. Water goes behind my feet.
Hey, I know. It's amazing. Yes. Wow.
Exactly the same kind of formation we encountered at the castle. However, there is a difference. This one is still actively growing. And that's because up here in the dark, we have a 6-meter crack in the roof. And when we get torrential rain, what happens here is we get a beautiful cascading waterfall. Comes off the formation, sometimes over a handrail, and then it drains out behind you into the Owen Green River. Now this is known as we follow this one is because the scientists who study the cave were really into the largest world of the cave. If you look at it carefully, you probably 100 years, so roughly 10 times as fast as all the other formations. So it's nicknamed the Redstone Global School. It's not locally as Steve. The reason you've got to be careful is because the ceiling above your head, the roof above your head, starts to come down very, very low. So the engineers have to ensure the footpath, or have to take a moment, footpath had to go downwards to accommodate that. And so this footpath...
That is literally the reflection on the water.
Okay. Just to talk briefly about the environment we find ourselves in, this cave has been explored to the extent of about 12 kilometres. That's roughly on the island, so he was delighted to find these bats. So they've been here, we think, for centuries. So, folks, I can turn the lights off if you wish. He is too... I'm going to go back upstairs to the office, turn the lights off, you let yourselves out. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Spielberg has a camera on. It's fun and such. It's kind for the bottom. So, folks, we just shine my torch around the cave. It takes on a completely different feel. Kind of woody. If I do this, you have a look on the roof, you'll get a light show as the water trickles by. Wow. So it's a bit spooky down here. I'm going to turn the light back on. And when I do so, if anyone has any questions, please just shout them out. So, just want to shine my torch, top left hand corner. This is known as the outside cradle. Look through the cradle, you will see a number of formations in close proximity. So just here, the honour of Martel, the French scientists who came into the cave in 1895. They snapped off about 30 centimetres off the tip. That represents about 30,000 years of geological history. The fragments were found and taken up to Belfast, to the Ulster Museum. And there some scientists... Now get out of my cave.